Hello everyone and welcome. At the beginning of this session, I would like to share a real-time incident story where a 13-year-old Western London boy named Karen Chima died of severe dairy allergy when another pupil flicked a cheese at him. Many of you may become terrified after listening to this incident, while some of you may not even actually believe it. But my dear listeners, I must assure you that even though food allergy are manageable with adequate precaution, but ignorance or lack of awareness may turn this to be life-threatening for someone we loved. Do you know in Australia, 2 out of every 3 kids suffer from food allergies and also struggle with it throughout their lifetime? The question may crop up in your mind that what is food allergy and how it affects our children? In general, food allergy can be referred to as the adverse reaction of the immune system when the body detects any detrimental food protein. The statistical evidence in Australia shows that the incidence of food allergy in children are on the rise in recent years. While talking about the statistical evidences, I will explain you more in-depth details related to food allergy. A report by the ACIA found that the incidences of food allergy to be 10% among infants, 4 to 8% of children, and approximately 2% among adults. Many of you may be aware of the fact that the most common form of the food allergy is triggered due to daily consumption products like milk, peanut, wheat, eggs, and so on. And the common food allergy outcomes show local to systemic response, including respiratory problem, gastrointestinal tract problem, erythema, etc. But this is not it. In many cases, the allergy reaction due to the consumption of allergy food results in a life-threatening condition like anaphylaxis. All of you can correlate this with the first real incidents at the beginning of my speech. However, Professor Mimi Tang, a pediatric allergist, pointed out the fact that the incidences of death caused by food allergy are quite low, as it can be prevented by avoiding allergens and immediate administration of adrenaline autoinjector. We all want our children to grow up happy and healthy, don't we? I'm sure we all do, but dear listeners, are you really aware of the fact that children with food allergy are often subject to bullying in their lifetime? Although the intention of the bullying may be not serious, but its outcome may be disgusting. The incident I discussed at the beginning was something like this. 2 pupils who threw the piece of cheese on the pool boy's neck just did it for fun. However, the allergy reaction ultimately led to the death of the pool boy. Taking note of some other incidences reported by ACIA, evidence has shown that more than 30% of children with food allergy have been bullied. Among them, about 26% of them experienced multiple bullying. A cohort study conducted by Fawn highlighted that 22.6% of participants were bullied directly due to food allergy. In most instances of bullying, schools were found to be the most dangerous place. As such, children are vulnerable to these experiences, especially those with food allergy, especially through social exclusion or teasing. Now, appearance of this kind of negative environment really have detrimental effect on our children's psychology. Being parents of child with food allergy also requires you more conscious about their eating habits and their exposure to any allergens. Such parents largely exhibit anxiety, which ultimately leads to the appearance of overprotective behaviors, limiting the interaction of children with others, restricting outdoor activities. Here, I'm speaking this while many of you might be actually experiencing it right now or had experienced it in past. Although your overprotective nature might be for the best interest of your kid, but this behavior often terrifies them and restrict from developing social skills and autonomy. These effects will not only increase the stressful situation, but also adversely affects the future performance of your child. Here, I'm not at all criticizing your behavior towards your child, but I'm just trying to make you aware that how your action may adversely affect your child's growth and development. Generally, children develop more independence during their school-going age, and that is why they need to play an active role in managing their symptoms of food allergy. However, your actions may come across their capability for independently managing their condition. Parents need to understand their overprotective behaviors are actually a negative psychological impact on their children. This sentiment is well founded in a study titled Psychosocial Impact of Growing Up with Food Allergies, where it is explained that the sense of social isolation, along with the negative perception, can increase the future risk of mental health problems like anxiety, depression, deprived self-esteem, stress, etc. As the management of food allergy situation is very complex in itself, the responsibility of managing it does not just end on the parents. The school staff, teachers, and other caregivers like school nurses also need to play active role in helping such students in managing their symptoms. Being a part of school, all of you must be aware of the fact that bullying-related incidences in schools negatively affect the mental health of the children with food allergy. Besides, according to Professor Linda Dahlquist's study, disagreements related to managing the child's allergy leads to the development of conflicts among parents. The conflict generally increases anxiety and stress level among the parents, such as the increased financial burden due to the cost of EpiPen and the absence of insurance. Parents are likely to get even more stressed. With active social support that could help in improving the family functioning, the children with food allergy having friends who are well aware of this condition may help in psychological and social development. Meanwhile, parents also require to understand that they need to have patience and adapt approaches for food allergy management. Certainly, in addition to the parents, the school and the registered nurses will also play an essential role in the management of food allergy while kids are in schools. For nurses at school, all of you possess this responsibility of ensuring the availability of an allergy emergency plan for the family members and schools. This will help in addressing any emergency incidences like the case I mentioned earlier. Moreover, you will have to establish a working connection between mental health experts and immunologists for providing safe management to decrease the overall impact of food allergy on our children. Therefore, at the end of my speech, I will highlight that there is a significant increase in case of food allergy among children in Australia. While growing up with food allergy, it is challenging for the children as much as it is difficult for the family members. Thus, along with parents, all of the other stakeholders should possess equal responsibility for managing the symptom of our affected children. All of you here can contribute actively participate in the management of these symptoms. But it will start with you all gaining adequate knowledge related to food allergy and its management. Hello everyone and welcome. At the beginning of this session,